Loving that change of the low 90s, Stephanie. Thank you. In today's new notebook, Andrew Capasso talks to a hearing specialist about hearing loss and COVID-19.
All right, May is a Better Hearing Month, a very important month regardless, but especially now because of COVID-19. A lot of information here on the news through press conferences and updates as we get them. Joining me here is Dr. Greg Swingle with Arizona Hearing Specialist. Thanks so much for your time, sir.
Yeah, thank you for having me.
So May is Better Hearing Month. It is incredibly important to get the latest information, especially now with this virus. With that said, what are some of the challenges for people who are hard of hearing? What are they telling you about the issues they're running into?
Well, you know, there's a lot of talk about reopening the country and getting back to some sort of normal, and part of that means a lot of video calls. People who have hearing impairment, even though you can see a person on a computer screen, as we all know, if you've done a video call, it's not always the best situation because the visual cues aren't as good as if you were in person.
So what advice do you have for them and for people who are dealing with people who are hard of hearing?
If the person is wearing a face mask, then a person who has hearing loss can't depend on visual cues. So what I would recommend is be open about it. If you have a hearing loss, tell people, you know what, I do have a hearing loss. If you can just speak a little bit slower, that would help.
And one last question, if you could just answer this relatively briefly. How challenging of a time do you think this is for people with hearing loss, given the virus and the need for information and the difficulty with the masks and everything?
It can be very challenging. You know, people do depend on basically hearing information, whether it be over the radio or TV or video calls or whatever, but also being able to make appointments and follow up with important people in your life. You're going to be talking on the phone for a lot of them, and that's a challenge for people who have hearing loss, so it's a very big deal.
All right, Dr. Greg Swingle with Arizona Hearing Specialist, thanks so much for your time.
Thank you.
And thank both of you. You're watching KOLD. We'll be right back after that.